Hello and welcome back to the Unknown Podcast. This is episode 20. Let's get right into it. So it's crazy to think, 20 already. It hasn't been that long since it started, and we're already at episode 20. We're going on a good pace, and it's been fun. It's been a good ride. So without further ado, let's start off with the fact that yesterday I went to Universal, which is a theme park. It's an amusement park similar to Disney World. And it's just crazy. They have these different worlds. Went to Harry Potter world, and that is crazy. It's literally you're in the Harry Potter series, which for Harry Potter fans must be nuts and amazing. And then they had things like Transformers, which I know one of my best friends is really into Transformers, so I was rubbing it in his face that I was there. They had other worlds like King Kong. They had a ride there. But that's not the part that I'm focusing on. The focus here is the lines, because it's nuts. It's half the time you're there, you're waiting in lines. You're probably in lines more than you're actually in the ride itself and getting food. Half the time you spend there, you're literally spending just standing in a line. And I started thinking about that, and I thought about how weird of a concept that is. You're literally standing in a line in an orderly fashion in a maze. They have little mazes going through, so everyone's here, there, just to make room. So you're in a little maze, order, lined up, and you're literally paying and staying in those lines for what could be hours to get shaken up, to get scared, to get thrown around, all that stuff. What, why? Where's the, you're paying so much money, you're spending all your time, all this energy just to get shaken around, get scared, get this little adrenaline rush? Hello? And you know what? It's not just that. That, I guess, makes sense because you get to see different worlds. I know, it's a crazy, crazy thing to go there and experience it. It's amazing, it's incredible. I'll admit it, you know what? I'm saying this, but at the same time, I enjoyed myself there. I had a good time. I see why you want to take your kids and go with your friends, or take your girlfriend, your wife there. I get it. Or your girlfriend, your wife takes you there. I get it. There's tons of things to do, and even the Harry Potter world had this thing called butterbeer, and it's crazy. It had foam at the top, and it's full of sugar. So you already know they're marketing it to the kids and making it super expensive. But anyways, it's cool. It's you drink it and it's kind of like a little milkshake, but the foam comes back, so that's why I guess they call it beer. And it's really tasty, really sweet. Too much for me, but I know why people like it. Everyone I know knew that got it, no one could finish it. And there was 3 or 4 people that got it. Oh, and the food there, crazy expensive. And now that we're on the topic of people paying and waiting to do something crazy and wild, let's talk about bungee jumping and skydiving. People pay out of their butts to go and jump out of a plane, or get someone to push them off of a bridge, to just be dangling by in a little or giant elastic. How bored with your life do you have to be yes, push me off of a bridge and let me dangle? What? Honestly, I mean, adrenaline junkies, yeah, I get it, but at the same time, there's so many other things you could be doing. But you know what, I guess it's whatever. At least you're not racing your car down the highway. It's better than that. And something I've kind of realized over the years is everyone who drives, I'm guilty of this too. Every single person that's not a new driver, more an experienced driver who's been driving for more than a year, so let's say, gets road rage to the point where, or I guess not everyone gets road rage, but what I mean is if something doesn't go your way for a split second and it inconveniences you, you have a little flip out right away. It could be someone waits or keeps you waiting for 5 seconds, boom, instantly yelling at them, instantly mad. I know I had an I had a case a few weeks ago where it was storming and it was really bad on my way to school, and there was puddles everywhere because the snow was melting, but it was really cold still, and so there's accidents everywhere. There's water. The water level was really high, and I was in this lineup, and I was okay, well, I'm parking in the garage that's down the road. So I was waiting for one. I was like, okay, I'll just go into the garage instead of like waiting and pulling on the side and getting in all these people's way. So because I would have had to park on the road, but I was like, it'd be more convenient for me and more convenient for them if I just went to the garage. It'd be also more time, it would be less time consuming. So I went to the garage, but on my way to the garage, I was in the lane that went the other way. And it was only for a few seconds, but this car literally turned around, stopped, and got really frustrated with me just because they had to wait a few seconds for me to turn into the garage. It was literally like 5 seconds. Like they had to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have been done. But they stopped their car and they wound down the window and they just stared at me. And that's a power move. If you wind down your window to stare at someone, damn, like that's intense stuff. And speaking of that kind of road rage, because that's not that bad. I had someone when I was driving with my roommates back once, who was behind me, and they were like riding up the back of my car, and I was like, okay, like excuse me, can you not? So I was just going on my merry way, and they were like riding behind me, and I was like, can you not? So I didn't exactly like speed up. I wasn't gonna let them get to me, and they could have just gone around me. But then I guess other people got in the way, and I was getting really annoyed. So I brake checked them, and I was like, back up, like don't be that close to me. But they just kept on doing it. So I slowed down, which I know is not a good move, not cool, shouldn't be doing it, but I was getting mad. And hey, I like I said, everyone's guilty of road rage. But yeah, so I slowed down a little bit, and this guy was raging. I guess he had like his mom beside him or something, and he was still raging. And finally he let up on the gas and like gave me some space. So I was like, okay. And then I went over to the other side, the slow lane, and he finally zoomed past me. But when he was zooming past me, like when he was going to pass me, he got out of his car. So I'm assuming he got his mom to hold the steering wheel, and he literally clapped his hands outside of the window. He put his body, like his upper half, his torso, out of the car, out of the window, and started clapping like this. The man used both hands, and he still had his foot on the gas. Can you believe that? That's dangerous. That's some extreme road rage. That is nuts. But yeah, anyways, and I have friends that like think I was in the wrong there because if you're in the fast lane, you have to go fast. But at the same time, like, I see people doing it all the time. If someone's going too slow, like I even get annoyed at people who are going really slow in the fast lane. But if you're already going at a fast pace, like some people need to slow their roll. You're not going like 140, 150 in the fast lane. That's just uncalled for. So there's no need to like ride my butt just so you can go speed racing down the highway. But I mean, I guess looking back, I was kind of in the wrong because I shouldn't have been kind of like feuding with him. I should have just got over to the side, let him go back to my my spot. That's what I do now. I guess it was because I was more of an inexperienced driver. I hadn't seen that much because I was like always in the slow lane, just chilling, going at a very slow, normal pace. And as the years have gone by, where I go back and forth from Ottawa and I have these long drives, like I've started going more in the fast lane. Not so much now that it's winter out, but normally, yeah. So then I've seen it more and I've gotten more used to it. But that was the thing. And I had to drive this giant car. It was like a rental. It was I was driving this one car, and it literally has like buttons. It's like a little spaceship. It's got buttons to go like reverse, park, neutral. You just push the button, done. And it's a button to start. Like everything's turning into buttons. You know, you don't even really, you need the key, but like it doesn't have like a little key on it. It's literally just like a little remote. You just bring the remote in, you're good. Push the buttons, button pushing. And it feels really weird when you're picking up the speed because like it goes really fast. Like it stops, like the engine like shuts off when you go really slow, but when you start like hitting on the gas, like it goes really fast, and the brakes really strong. So that car was pretty cool. And it's also giant, so it was different adjusting from like a smaller car to like a bigger vehicle where it's giant and like you're looking down on everyone, and you kind of feel cool like looking down at the cars that are like my size car and being like, yeah, that's right, I'm up here. Try cutting me off in this, it ain't happening. But yeah, like people throw little tantrums at the smallest things. Like even if someone's just turning and you have to wait for them for a few seconds, it's a few seconds. But I know I'm guilty of it too, where I'm like, come on, I just want to go. And that was even prevalent earlier. I went to the grocery store, and here in Florida, like there's a lot of like older people here who, for some reason, I keep on hearing like judging the younger generation. Like, chill, okay? I thought that was just like a stereotype, but no, a lot of people are judging like the younger generation just by the things we do, I guess. Like, I guess millennials, like they're judging millennials and they're like, oh yeah, they don't raise them right anymore, and just crazy stuff. And this one lady even like yelled at a 3-year-old that we have in our party, and we're like, excuse me, like that's a 3-year-old, why are you yelling at him? That's just so uncalled for. And yeah, I just kind of feel like out of place, I guess. But anyways, so we're at the grocery store and it moves so slow. Like it's literally, everyone's just snail's pace, just like going every direction you want to go in the grocery store is blocked, and literally it takes them forever to move. And then at the cash out lines, like it's like, oh my goodness, even me, I'm like a slow person, I'm a very like stop and smell the roses kind of person, and I was just like, come on here, we need to get going, you know, like this was stressing me out. I was like, let's get going. And I'm not usually that person, so like it's kind of nuts, kind of something to get used to, something new. Also recently, so I was I was reading this article, and I don't know how I came across this article, mind you, but anyways, I came across this article that was saying like boiled or cooked eggs are actually healthier than raw eggs, because you know how like in Rocky or something like that, where some shows where they crack the eggs into the glass and then drink it. Rocky is like the biggest example I can think of, but I also recently saw it in a TV show that I'm watching. Really cool, by the way. It's called the Umbrella Corporation, I believe. It's like a bunch of superheroes. I guess they kind of do take a lot from other movies like the X-Men and stuff like that. That's what critics have been saying. I've been reading some like articles written on it. And anyways, it's like about all these young superheroes in a more gritty, dark setting that have all these powers, and they were all born without like the woman being pregnant at the same time, and then one billionaire kind of adopted them, and they're going through their life, and you see like into the future and also back, and kind of like telling a story. But anyways, one of these characters, literally I wasn't expecting it at all. It was like a normal scene where he was in his boxing, he lives in like a boxing club place, like he's like just in the back room and he works there, and he's like a part-time like superhero or something. He like throws knives and stuff. Anyways, his brother was there, and he was like, oh, like someone's breaking in, so he throws like a knife. He's like, I knew it was you. And they had this little like interaction, and then he literally just went over, grabbed an egg out of the fridge, cracked it on the sink, ate it like this, like spread like the shells, ate it, threw it down, and then like swallowed it. And I was like, what did he just do? Why did he do it so nonchalantly? Like this is just his morning routine, just cracking an egg into your mouth, like what? And then I was thinking, that's so unneeded. You can just boil the egg, just boil it, just cook it, do something, you know, get some taste in there. Like what are these guys doing if it's more healthy to have it cooked? You're torturing yourself for no reason. Like, I get it, yeah, you're raw, literally raw, because you're eating raw eggs, but still, like, come on now, that's just bizarre, that is nuts. There's no reason for it. And you know what else I was thinking about is not only are cooked eggs better than raw, but then you have like green apples versus red. I gotta say, I'm on the sour side. I gotta say, green apples, best. Green grapes, best. Just every green fruit where there's a red opposite, the green is better. I'm just telling you that. Just trust me on this one. Sour, always better. I don't get how people don't like sour stuff. Like, it's just so good. I get it. Like, Warheads, way too sour. I understand that one. Like, I can see where you're coming from on that one. But like anything else, in terms of fruit, sour's the way to go. Sour is the way to go, especially in like blueberries. So much better. And then so I came across this other debate where, because apparently YouTube is really bad with well, I know that they're bad with like monetization and stuff like that, and like comment sections being very toxic. And so I came across this article that pretty much says like Pornhub has a better algorithm than YouTube, so they're like create like a safe for work site using the algorithm that you use for this site and the comments section and stuff, like just pretty much taking out all the tools you use for this and make it like the next YouTube. Like take out all like the, you know, adult stuff and make it normal, and use everything that you're using for that on this, because they're saying it'd be 10 times better. And I gotta say, my friends have even told me, like, the comment sections in those adult videos, not that I know much about that, because you know, anyways, they're really funny. And apparently they're not toxic at all. Like, it's just funny and wholesome, and something you wouldn't really expect, but that just kind of makes my day. And they've given me examples. They're pretty funny. Like, people will, because like the thing is with those videos is they're just like, they show you everything, right? And then you have people commenting like just savage things like, damn, he has a small, right? And it's funny. It's funny stuff. Anyways, that actually reminds me. So I came across another article, kind of not the same as this, but it's like along the same adult side of it. So it's kind of explicit, but it was this article where apparently a guy hid that he had a micro penis from his girlfriend until like the night that they got married. So the night they were supposed to, like, you know, do their thing, because they're finally married. And when you get married and you've been holding off on sex, that's when you, like, that's the night, you know, the night you consummate your marriage. And she finds out he has a micro penis. Could you imagine? Like, you can't just bring that up. You can't just say, by the way, like, I have a blah blah blah. Like, that's gotta be embarrassing too. Like, just things aren't on your side at that point. But you know what? I'm sure, like, if you can wait until marriage, you can find another way around it. I mean, that just proves that everything you have is pure. And you don't need that side of it. Although that side is probably good, you can find other ways around it. Anyways, he was apparently, like, suing her for something. I didn't read that much into it. I just thought the first part was funny. But yeah, that was just like, if you can wait until the wedding night, come on, man. Like, you can wait further. And I'm sure, like, she can find other ways of doing things if she can wait until then. Anyways, and speaking of, like, all that, you know, speaking of sex, after that, have you ever thought of the term sleeping like a baby? Because if you think about it, babies don't sleep well at all. Like, they're always, like, waking up and crying, and you see, like, parents going through hell trying to raise their kids. But I guess, like, in the end, it's always worth it. But I'm still saying, like, they do not sleep well. So if you're saying, oh, I slept like a baby, that means you did not sleep well. If you say, I slept like a log, I still don't get that. Logs just float and sit there. So, like, I guess that means, like, you're out. You're just blah, not moving, but still. Also, this is cool. So Samsung recently came out with a phone that, like, folds into a tablet. Like, that is dope. I'm excited for that. I want to see more on it. But I mean, I gotta stick with my iPhone. I like the iPhone so much. It just has everything, like, clean how I like it, and it goes along with my computer, which is awesome. So I like the Mac and I like the iPhone. Although Mac has, like, a lot of things that make it difficult just because I'm coming from Windows and I'm used to things being kind of, like, more open to different ways of doing it. Here it's kind of just like there's one way to do it, and you need to learn that way. And in terms of, like, hard drives and stuff like that, it also has, like, its specific own way of reading it and stuff like that, so you have to change around a lot of things. It's just an adjustment period, which I'm new to. But I don't know, I guess I need to get back on it. I need to figure out my stuff. And the weather here is really nice. I'm liking it. It's really hot though. Like, it's not just, like, hot, like, oh, like, the sun's beating down on you. It's, like, humid hot. And you know what? I think I'm gonna work on my tan. I think I'm gonna do it. I know I was dissing tanning the other day because it's, like, specifically you just want to burn yourself to the right degree, which my grandfather was actually doing. He got burnt all over himself, but he had, like, awkward, like, burn blotches. Like, it'd be, like, only on, like, this side of that arm and, like, this side of that arm. So then he wanted to even it out, so he'd only put, like, lotion on, like, the parts that were burnt and let the other ones burn to, like, you know, equal it out. Which, you gotta admit, going to what I was saying earlier, it's weird. The tanning thing, it's weird, but I'm gonna do it because you know what? I could get a tan, you know? I could look different for a little bit. Get a nice little bronze going on. More than just like the scruffiness. I'm gonna come back looking different. Excuse me. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. This is the 20th podcast. It's 20 minutes. I'm really proud of it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, remember there is an Instagram page you can check out. You can find it at on Instagram, _unknown_pod. That is _unknown_pod, and that's where I post little clippets from the videos and the podcast, of course. Anyways, I will see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this one. Peace.